Hey Mini enthusiasts, how you doing? Welcome back. Hope you're all well and I hope you're having a great day. Today we are with a very rare Mini Cooper S Works. This car's owned by Lee Reeves and it's just undergone a full nut and bolt restoration by Craig Webb Restorations. It took just over a year to complete and it's a really stunning car. It's got some unique features and we're going to take it out for a drive today. We're going to speak to the owner and we're going to see what's special about this little car. Right, so thanks Lee for bringing this lovely Mini Cooper S Works down to me.
You're welcome.
Really appreciate it, and I think it'll be a great feature for the channel as well. So tell me a little bit about the car, or tell the viewers, what age is it, what spec was it originally? It looks like it's had lots done to it.
Yeah, well, so it has been restored very recently by Craig Webb Restorations, so we'll probably come on to that. Originally, it's a 2001 registered Cooper SE.
So that's one of the very last special edition models, isn't it? Before, I guess before the Cooper Sport 500, before that very last run, that was the last special edition you could get.
The last S Works. So it's got the Works 90 horsepower upgrade and lots of other bits and bobs that we can talk about. But yeah, 2001 registered. I picked it up when it was 3 years old, 17,000 miles. It's on 50,000 now, 50,000 I think now. And yeah.
So what made, so you're the second owner of the car.
Right, yeah.
What sort of attracted to you? What made you buy this car?
So, well, it's a bit of a story, you know, but at the time I was running around in a sort of a mid-80s city. It was a lovely little car, Java Green, 1000. And I'd seen this being advertised and lots of other cars being advertised on the Works site, and you know I didn't really have the money actually couldn't afford to buy a new car, but you know the cravings like, so I went down there and I thought, well, looking can't hurt, and then Mike Ravens turns out to be a wizard when it comes to salesmanship, and so we bought it, and really it was because, you know, it was an S Works, which is fantastic. You know, to me, the Cooper S is the pinnacle of the Mini range. You know, that's what always comes to my mind. And when I grew up, you know, it was always Cooper S's were the cars of choice for, you know, people of my parents' era actually. Yeah. So this one to come from the Works garage, to have so many Works upgrades, and you know, everything from the Works sump guard that's fitted that you don't see very much, and the twin tanks that you rarely see on the later cars. The brakes are upgraded by the Works garage. You know, the interior was upgraded, the exterior was upgraded. You know, the stripes, for instance, are painted on, and they're painted across the scuttle. All of these touches just makes it more and more of a special car to me. Yeah. And I just had to buy it.
We looked through the brochure earlier, but I think every accessory that is in the brochure is on this car, and some stuff really special which you just don't see very often. An MPI Mini with twin tanks on it, 10-inch wheels as well on a later Mini as well.
Yeah, that's right. Yeah, the one exception, by the way, you didn't tick the 5-speed gearbox. That's a shame. And I just feel that, you know, Minis suit 10-inch wheels and the chunkier tyres. Just a personal preference, and so that's what I went for. Luckily, because it had the Works brake upgrade, which was 7.9 inch vented discs with the 4-pot alloy calipers and mini fins on the back. Actually, the 10-inch wheels slot straight on, so I didn't need to do any work there.
So controversially, it's actually on springs, isn't it, rather than rubber donuts? It's always something that people are like, no, you're either in the camp of donuts or in the camp of springs. But we've had quite a spirited drive today, and I've got to admit I was quite impressed with how it handles.
Yeah, so it's very Marmite, you're right, it divides everybody.
Everywhere you look on this car, there's little bits that I guess if you weren't in the know and you just had a quick look round it, you probably wouldn't notice. But there's things like the dashboard, where the inside of the glove box has been painted instead of just the boring black plastic which is usually there. The actual dash vehicle has been painted silver to match the bonnet stripes and the roof. But tell me about the seats, because that's really interesting. They're standard Cooper Sport 500 seats, but they've got a bit of a story, haven't they?
Well, they have, yeah. So the guy who bought this car originally, who spec'd it originally, he wanted the top of the range, everything.
Yeah.
But he didn't like sports pack wheels. He didn't want the big wheels. So he asked them to remove the original interior, which would have had half leather seats and a body colour dashboard with a single clock and all of these sorts of features. They took all of that out and fitted it with what would have been the sport spec at the time, these seats and the factory silver dashboard with the extra clocks and so on. But the seats, I only found this out a month ago or so at Minis by the Sea. I was talking to the works team, there's a lot of the guys there, and they said, oh, actually your seats came from His Fun, which the blue version of His Fun, the last one.
Yeah.
Because they were upgrading at the time to that. I don't know if you remember, that car's got electric seats and fully bespoke interior.
It had I seem to remember it was like light blue and grey, probably like suede, but the seats were all electric.
Yeah, all electric.
So the seats in this would have come out of His Fun.
Just great timing.
So this has been fully restored now, and I remember watching progress of the restoration from, it was done by Craig Webb Restorations.
That's right, yes.
Took just over a year.
Yeah.
Craig's standard of workmanship is second to none. I've not seen a better restoration done. Having a look around this car, it really is a testament to him. But this was a typical MPI Mini. This was certainly no trailer queen, was it?
No, it's been used. It does everything from the school runs to, we had a holiday around 2010ish, I think, where I took my 2 young boys at the time, and we did the world tour of the UK,
wow.
which is basically we circumnavigated all the way around the UK, not Ireland, but certainly England, Wales, and Scotland, and did all the way around. And back, this car is used, and I'm not afraid to take it out in the rain. It was raining today, an hour and a half to get here. We got soaked, but don't get us wrong. I won't go out of my way to drive it on salted roads in the winter. Of course, I won't. But it's used. It's no trailer or garage queen.
That's brilliant. And I'll put some photos in of the restoration, but. Typical MPI, so wings, front panel, 8 panels, door skins.
The whole front end, apart from one inner wing, was changed. The scuttle, both door skins, both sides of the in and outer sills, patching on the floor and the exhaust tunnel where the heat shields were, that they went. One rear quarter, the other side was patched up. Boot floor, rear valance, it's had a lot of new metal grafted in.
Yeah.
Craig thinks we kept about 60% because things like vast areas like the roof weren't touched, the back seats and all of those sorts of areas. So big areas were kept, but there's been a lot of bodywork doing because it just fell apart. The rust was everywhere, and it always seems to be where 2 panels put together.
Yeah.
So you lose both panels.
Yeah. So being a later MPI, they were certainly not famed for their corrosion protection. In fact, you were lucky if you got paint on certain bits of the car.
The original scuttle underneath, there's no paint.
It's nothing there.
Yeah, bare metal.
So you've not had this on the rolling road, I take it?
No.
But side by side comparison, so my PL, which is a 1997 SI specification, so it's a few years older than this, but apparently around about the same brake horsepower. I think PL actually is S-Works spec now because it's had a few upgrades over the years, but this certainly feels much quicker. So that's on 13-inch wheels, so I think that sort of makes it feel a little bit lethargic anyway. But this really feels quick. So any other modifications to the engine?
Well, the deliberate modifications during the restoration, we put a 3.1 final drive in, just to help it, get up and down the gears. Not great on the motorway, especially on the small wheels. It's all gone the other way, but it's certainly more lively. And then during the restoration, a big revelation came out because, of course, we took the opportunity to strip the engine down. It had not been apart since 2004 was the last time this engine was worked on in any depth, and that was by the works garage under warranty. They actually changed the short engine because the oil pump wasn't performing properly, and those guys don't muck about. They changed the short engine, and it never missed a beat in all of that time since they fitted it. But Jim Brindle did the work on the engine, so he took it apart and refurbished everything, and he called me up to say, ask about the engine and its history and this, that. And he asked us if it was quick. And I said, it's nippy, it's not bad, not by modern standards, but it's not bad. And he says, well, it blooming should be. It's a 1380.
Wow.
And I think, really? I've been insuring the wrong engine for the last 20 years. But sure enough, I spoke to the works team, and they did have 1380 engines on the shelf for various reasons. No one can confirm why there's one in my car.
Yeah. And
Mike Cooper isn't particularly happy about it because no one charged me. But my assumption is they didn't have any 1275s at the time, and for one reason or another, in it went. And Tony Franks confirmed that these short engines came from Swift Tune at the time, along with the crank.
Wow!
So
what a nice surprise!
all the nice bits, from the right people.
Yeah. So wow. So, as I mentioned earlier, there are lots of original John Cooper accessories on this car, and a lot of it is still original, isn't it? It hasn't been replaced, it's been restored,
yes,
brought back to original. There's an interesting story about the brakes, isn't there? Because the brakes it's got odd calipers on it, but that's how it come from John Cooper's.
That's right, yeah. So when I bought the car, one of the big features was the upgraded brakes, beautiful alloy 4-pot calipers on the front, mini fins in the back, and great. 20 odd years later, when I started taking the car apart for the restoration, was the first time we put the calipers side by side on the bench, and they're completely different. Visually. On the rollers, they brake the same rate, and that's fine performance-wise. But it turns out there was actually sort of a batch 1 and a batch 2 of these calipers made, and we don't know exactly why, but one's of one ilk, one's of the other. There's a story of the original owner who worked for a famous racing team. There may have been a roadside repair done by the works garage, and I assume they might have only just changed one caliper roadside, and it happened to be from the later batch. But we don't know. But yeah, they're different calipers, but they work very, very well. These are on the 7.9 vented discs from CAD.
Yeah, it does. We had to brake sharpish earlier. It definitely does slow down very quickly if you want it to, doesn't it?
Yes, it does. Yeah, it's good.
Really interesting to see this car, find out the history of it. You know, clearly that's going to last at least another 30, 40 years and is a bit of John Cooper history. Lots of links to sort of the ex-John Cooper Works people. So I guess just to finish, just thank you very much for bringing it down, letting us film it, featuring on the channel. I think if anyone has got any questions and they want to ask, drop it in the comments, and we'll do the best to answer them for you. But yeah, very interesting car. Thanks for bringing it down, and safe drive back.
Pleasure. Thank you for having us.
Cheers.